the fact that the North will not vote for you, Peter Obi, that they would rather vote for a Northern candidate. He also talked about the fact that the Southeast has problems, in quotes, such that the North will not be voting for a person from the Southeast. What's your take on that?
Well, the comments from my respected elder brother, Kwankwaso, is the reason why we have 100 million Nigerians living in poverty. The reason why we have 18 million Nigerian children out of school. It is the reason why we have over 55% of Nigerians under unemployment ladder. It's the reason why we have all the problems why Nigeria is insecure. Because rather than vote for competence, we will choose to vote for incompetence based on a primitive consideration of ethnicity and religion. Tell me, today you can't travel from Abuja to Kaduna by air, by road, by train. Is it because someone from the Southeast is in charge? You can't travel from Abuja to Mina by road. Is it because somebody from the Southeast is in charge? Yesterday we had an attack by bandits on the presidential convoy in Katsina. Is it because the president from Southeast is in charge? Show me where you can buy food cheaper, you have uninterrupted electricity, or people are prospering in the north because the northerners are in power, in the southwest because they're in power, and in the southeast. What we've chosen to do in this country, we will consistently hire vehicle drivers to fly the Nigerian aeroplane instead of hiring qualified pilots.
So, my fellow Nigerians and Africans, it's not only the fact that they hire vehicle drivers from other nations to fly Nigerian aeroplanes, but they also station these aeroplanes in foreign nations for a very long time. Why? Thereby paying demurrage and all the extra and unnecessary expenses. Why do they do that? The president oftentimes they come out sick. They come out in their 80s, and you know that from 80 years and above, the natural clock of every man, by man I mean every human being, begins to drop. The thinking, the ability, the movement, like in every way. Now, for Nigerian presidents, they don't stop. They don't realize that this is a stage for them to make peace with themselves. Go back home, enjoy your family, enjoy your grandkids and great grandkids and what have you, and do whatever you do in a very peaceful way. That way you prolong your life to even 100 100 years, God willing. But no, they want to come out at that very moment in their life where they know that they are not able to do nothing. They just want to come out and remain on that seat like till death do us part. So, fellow Nigerians, this man, Peter Obi, he's actually not the type of man who's coming out or who is so desperate as to falsifying a secondary school certificate just to answer the president of Nigeria. This man is well read. This man is, he is educated home and abroad. He is business-minded person. He has the intellect. He is an honest man. You can hear it when he speaks. Over the decades, we are fond of these presidents, and they just come out and they let you know that they want to do this. We are going to give you stable electricity before 2 months. We'll provide water here and there. the roads will be functional, schools will be functional, hospitals will be functional. They make empty promises. They do what? Nothing at the end of the day. This is a man that says, look at my work, what I did with Anambra State at the moment I got the opportunity as a governor. Check my records. They speak for themselves. Now, what more do we need? This is an honest man. He's not in a hurry to say, I'll make Nigeria better under 6 months, under 1 year. He knows, like, I don't know if how many of us heard this testimony, or rather this interview, excuse me. With Adeola Fayehun, the interview she conducted with Peter Obi, whereby I think a lot of us are used to the fact, like I said earlier, of president's aspirants making false promises and at the end of the day doing nothing. So I wouldn't know, because her questions were actually like, I saw the video and I noted down her questions. She talked about the Nigerian factor, due to bad road and what have you, that affects Nigerians as a whole, insecurity that leads to death, losses due to the Nigerian factors. And Peter Obi was honest in his reply. She talked about security and productiveness. Okay, that was from Peter Obi. He mentioned security. He would look into security and, of course, productiveness. And then he made reference to his job in Anambra State, and during his tenure, how the security was so much improved in Anambra State. And electricity, Adeola asked after electricity. She also asked about education, universities, and funding of student loans. This came from Peter Obi as a reply, for the university students would have the opportunity for loans, And Adeola asked, how would you provide jobs for young people in Nigeria? And he mentioned financial support and, of course, training. He was given actually detailed information on what he wanted to do, but I think Adeola wanted a normal breakdown, like what kind of training and all that. And she began by saying they had only but a stipulated time, but I think her expectations were now or seemed that she forgot the deal. They didn't have much time, and it wouldn't also be wise to come out and say, this is how we'll do it, this is where we'll do it, because there's still a president on that seat, and as it is, Nigeria remains one country who is overtly indebted. Like, they've gotten so much debt, they've gotten themselves in so much debt, they keep collecting money from there and then China and what have you. And so he cannot say this is the actual amount that is left right now in government port. But apart from that, this man, in one of his interviews that I heard, he mentioned cutting down. I think he even mentioned it here, that the payments, the allowances that the whole government representatives get will be cut down. Like, you guys, which of these presidents would want to even talk about this? Which his empathy, the empathy coming from Peter Obi is just so much. That's human empathy. We need it as a people. We need one who could feel the pain of his people. That's what I see in this man. I saw one of his interview where he was telling the person, it's not me you're voting for. You're not voting for one man from the east or something. You're voting for that man who's got the passion to move this nation to the next level, to drive this country towards its positive goal. Because it's the state at which we are right now, it's like an ocean. You find yourself into the ocean and you want to make it, the water doesn't taste at all, and you want to give it some taste. Now you're using a hand, getting some salt and dropping in the ocean. You can tell how long maximum time would be required before some taste would come out. That's what it is like, to be sincere with you. With our dear nation, Nigeria, he has to deal with lots of things. He said he would deal with corruption, And don't forget, when he's cutting down these all of these things, he's also involved. It means his own allowances are cut. So it's a fair thing. This is a man who who is strong. Look at how much of the nations he has taught in this little time. I don't see any of his opponents doing what he has done in this short period of time. Peter Obi is diligent. He has empathy. He has the zeal. He has the ambition. He has the intellectual capacity, what it takes to take this nation to the next level. Adeola made mention of him making reference to other nations. This man has gone all out to check for what can he do to improve these nations. How are the other nations with so much population? How did they conquer? How did they overcome? How did they get to the level where they are? That's the quest. That's the quest for growth, which he has gotten to this point. I'm surprised she made that comment, because if you ask almost every Nigerian, would you want to stay in Nigeria? They will be like, what are you talking about? No, I want to go to US. I want to be in a developed or developing place like China and what have you. So he makes mention of these places with also high population, of people. So he makes mention because they've come a long way. He didn't start today. He's an honest man. He makes mention. He begins to tell you where they came from, the orientation, how they got there. It's a pity that Adeola was, I don't know if she was stressed, as a new mom, or, a mom with a toddler. One can be really stressed. But I think before she conducts such an interview, she should be free. She should be in her right frame of mind. At some point, she also had to ask him, okay, what she had to say, you're talking about security, right? The pause, she wasn't conducted at all. She seemed confused at some point. She had to repeat the questions, and she kept repeating the question for the man who has actually given the reply to every question that she asked. I think she wanted to hear where she asked, what about raising the salary for the doctors? And he made a clear point that it's not only doctors who actually want an increment, in their salary. And that is the truth. The teachers want every other profession, the minimum wage. And then he made mention of the minimum wage as being 30,000 naira. A general increase on minimum wage would effect generally increase on all salary earners. This question was at some point, Adeola had to ask Mr. Peter Obi. She repeated her questions again. I think that was the third time, and said, just for my viewers to understand you properly. That was so unprofessional. Adeola forgot that her viewers range from all backgrounds, from all spheres of life, from that it seemed she was the one who needed better understanding, because her viewers they could hear Mr. Peter Obi clearly and good enough. A lot of us could understand him without her interject. Electricities will be stabilized in 5 years. These were his answers, the answers from Mr. Peter Obi. Schools will be funded. Loans will be given to students for their studies. Medical systems, will be supported. Medical funding, school of nursing, health system, training, and financial support of the youths and young entrepreneurs. Stealing of public funds would be stopped. Fighting of corruption, restoration of hope, of our dear nation, that the people's hope will be restored. The people's, the interest in their nation would grow. Those who are outside could come back when they see a better future, which is the truth. So leave me your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It's Annie.